Yo, 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 yo. What is good? What is good, good people? We are back at it again with your Don't Listen podcast with your host, your boy TP. And yes, we are back in the building. And I am here like I promised that I would be. I did a Facebook Live yesterday talking about other projects that I got going on. And, music is coming for my music people that love to come on the podcast and know about the music is coming. A new video this week. But we are not here to talk about that today. Today, we are here to talk about the great new bill that was passed in Congress and how it's going to affect us. It's one thing that I do know. It's one thing that I know for sure and for certain is that I have never seen so many cold and callous people in my life. I haven't been on this earth, as long as our elders, but I've been here for almost 50 years. And all my years, I have never seen so much cold and callous people ever in my life. Haven't seen it. Republican politicians are out here slapping fives, patting each other on the back, saying, great job, great job. While, if you paid attention and look what is actually in this bill, there aren't many things in this bill that will benefit Americans. When they did a poll on the bill, you don't have to take my word for it. You can do your own investigation yourself. They did a poll on the bill. It polled around 23% favorability amongst Americans, which means that 77%, which is the majority of people in this country, did not sign up for this, did not want this to happen. All Democrats voted against it, and one Republican, Thomas Massey, voted against it. If you voted for a Republican and you are not the 1%, because that's who this bill really benefits. If you voted Republican, your politician literally signed your life away to billionaires, the ultra wealthy, corporations. Oh, yes. They have sold the American people down the river. Donald Trump out here touting his bill like it was a great success. In many ways, it is for him because he can be classified as the 1%, which is another reason why I don't understand why Americans will vote for somebody that's a billionaire. Technically, I don't know realistically, but technically he's a billionaire. I don't understand why people think a billionaire going into office would represent their best interests. My understanding of what's going down really came from Inauguration Day. When he was inaugurated to be president, if you looked out into the audience and you seen who was in the front of the rows and who was clapping it up, high-fiving each other out in the audience. It was nothing but a bunch of billionaires, a whole lot of them. And they was all clapping, slapping fives. Yeah. The agenda has been set. The liar in chief said he ain't had nothing to do with 2025 before he was elected. And if you look at all his policies that he came up with thus far, seems eerily similar to the words and the doctrine of Project 2025. The people had to know that when this man got voted in, he literally was going to do what he said he was going to do. Now, me reading through this bill, it personally hits home for me like it will personally hit home for many of you. You wonder why I say that. Well, the reason why I say that is because I have a disabled child and his health care is funded through Medicaid. I know a lot of people that has these similar situation where some form of their health insurance is covered by Medicaid. When you take an axe to something that is so detrimental to people's lives, and you say they don't need that, there was one woman that took her son that was in a wheelchair to go see her Republican representative. Y'all can look it up. Don't take my word for it. You can look it up. She went to go talk to him. And the whole day she stayed down there in the Capitol trying to get in there to talk to her representative. He would not see her, ducked and dodged her, got the people to come out and say some craziness to her where, you know, she wasn't going to get no audience that day. Now, mind you, it was no session in Congress where this politician had to be. He was actually in the office. And the lady could not get an audience with her representative. These people are not our representative. They are the representatives of the 1%. You ask me, why do I say that? Well, if you read through the bill, there's a huge tax cut. Average Americans will see a tax cut of about $150. If you know, like I know, that's 3 days worth of grocery. Sometimes even less. 4 days worth of grocery, maybe if you're pushing it. But that is the extent of your tax cuts, is about $150. As you make more money, the tax cut increases. Millionaires and billionaires will see, well, billionaires going to see hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax cuts. Millionaires will see anywhere up to $62,000 in tax cuts per year, and up and up. As the ladder goes, those were the people who benefit. Now, these people don't need no tax cuts. These people are paying not only, well, they are not paying their fair share in taxes like working people, me, you, people you know. They're not paying their fair share. They actually get a cutoff where it gets to a certain point in the taxes and then it stops, regardless of how much money they have. FDR did a great New Deal where he taxed 100% of every dollar over a certain amount. I'm not calling for that. I say if these rich people pay their fair share like we do, which is a percentage base of their salary going to the taxes, regardless of the amount, there will be no problems with funding anything in this country. But the ultra wealthy pay for their man to get in the White House. The ultra wealthy pay for him to give them their tax cuts, and lo and behold, who do you know that it benefits? The president himself, because he fits in that 1%. Why do you think he pushing for that? You think he pushing for it so he can help you get your $150 if you make $38,000 or less? Your $150, how far that's going to go? But these millionaires and billionaires get to see all kinds of tax cuts. Not only that, their tax cuts are permanent. They made it so they're permanent. Guess who else benefits from that? All these politicians. Because with their annual salaries, none of them should be millionaires. But for some reason, we got quite a few millionaires sitting in Congress. How do they know? To get rich doing the work of the people. Insider trading, that's a voodoo word. But they know what's going on. So they manipulating the stocks and they know where to put their money at. But let's get back to this great deal, new bill, whatever it is. They're going to kick 16 million people off of Medicaid. If you are so-called able-bodied work and you are allowed to keep Medicaid, it's going to be work requirements, study requirements, and all kinds of other requirements. If your child is 14 years or older, they are subject to the same criteria. I didn't even know you can work anywhere at 14 years old. Working papers aren't able to, unless y'all going to go back to child labor. Is that what they trying to do here? Is that what they trying to do? Not only are they cutting Medicaid, they coming for veterans too. People that fought for this country, and they supposed to be the pro-military party. The Republican Party supposed to be pro-military, and they letting the vets feel it the most, or most of them that need these programs, they getting cut. The other thing he's cutting is education. There will be a slew of layoffs coming. Already heard about it, already seen it in my state. Layoffs of fantastic teachers, fantastic educators. Some of them will be getting laid off. Not only are the teachers being affected, but the nurses that work in these facilities, in these schools, are being affected. Extra staff for the disabled and the kids with learning disabilities, they're being affected. Cut the federal budget for education. Like right now in the world, we ain't ranked too high in education. So what is that going to do to not only our kids, but to the future of this country? When you cut education and then you limiting how many of the smart people that's coming in from other countries due to your immigration agenda, when you limit that, brain drain gonna happen. And not only do we have a lot of people that's out here that's not too smart anyway, it's only gonna get exacerbated. It's gonna get worse. And that's what they want, a dumb electorate. People that vote against their own best interests. That's what they want. So this fits right in their program. They cut Meals on Wheels to the elderly. Meals on Wheels was a program that delivered needed meals that's already prepped for the elderly that can't get around and they need, help with food and they food insecure. They cut that. But they all in Congress slapping high fives, saying they don't need that. Check out this hypocrisy. Not only do Congress and senators get a free ride for health care, they get the best health care in the world. It's all for our tax dollars. We pay for that. Then they turn around and have the audacity to take health care away from you. And they high five about it. They high five about it. These are demons, devils in my eyes. I don't say that lightly. I don't like to call people out their name. But look at these blood suckers, how they take away from you and everything we give them, which is a job, which is free health care for them. It's socialized health care for them, but it don't work for you. How is that a thing here in a supposed democracy where you elect a politician, you tell them, nah, I don't want you touching Medicaid. I don't want you touching education. I don't want you touching Social Security because they coming for that too. I don't want you touching this. I don't want, how? With a 79% majority, do a bill like this get passed? Nobody asked for any of this, but they did. They had to pass it. Donald Trump was threatening to primary some people and this and that, and they like, oh, we got to do it. I never seen so many cucks and cuckolds and low integrity people in my goddamn life. I never seen nothing like this. I never seen the blood sucking. It's like they vampires. They want to suck all your blood. They taking the life out of this country. Because if you don't have a social safety net, and you think it's bad now, we almost got 1 million homeless people on the street. Almost 1 million. Think about that. In the supposed richest country in the world, we have 1 million homeless people. All the money that could be doled out through everybody paying their fair share in taxes takes care of that problem. But no, the rich got to have their tax cuts, which means y'all can't have anything. Corporations that are still being subsidized by the government, which is our tax dollars giving them incentives for their business, who don't need any subsidies. The oil and gas companies need subsidies. Freaking gas over $3. Why are we still subsidizing oil and gas? I could see when we first started out, we needed people to build up the industry. You subsidize them so they can build more pumps, get more oil drilled, so they can have a more yeah, I could see that when it first started. But now their profits has never been better. Profits have never been better for the oil and gas industry, but we, the taxpayer, subsidize them. So they taking our money, not only giving it to the rich, but they also taking our money, giving it to companies that's always creating a profit, which makes no goddamn sense. The supposed anti-war president, supposed anti-war. Oh, if I was the president, I have Ukraine and Russia stop fighting in a week. How'd that work out? How'd that work out? Oh, Israel won't be fighting Palestinians. How is that working out? Oh, Israel bombing Iran, and we paying the bill on that too. Not only are we funding it, but we participated in it. You're anti-war president. Y'all can't say this. This man lied his way into the presidency, and he's still lying to you today, talking about this bill is going to benefit you. It don't benefit you. It benefit the people that put him in office. Project 2025 is a real thing. Everything he said he was going to do, he's doing it. But we, the people, wanted this? I don't know. I don't know. It's not a fact that I don't know. How about you? Do you know? Did you sign up for any of this? I know I didn't. I didn't vote for the sucker anyway, but at the end of the day, I was willing to see what he was going to do. See, I hold my judgment. I let you make your own bed so you can lay in it. Now you laying in it. I thought Kamala Harris would have been a better president than he is, at least on the surface. Not cold-blooded, calculated as he is, just on the tape. And then his boy that helped him gave him $275 million towards his presidency, Elon Musk. Now them two fighting. And Elon Musk talking about the subsidies that he's giving to other corporations. And the only reason why he crying about it is because he didn't get his electric vehicle subsidy. Let's be real. He didn't get what he wanted and what he paid for. He didn't get what he paid for. So now they beefing. This is what you signed up for, total chaos. And how long is people going to go for it? Until they wake up and say, these people ain't for us. None of them. There should be the biggest blue wave in history happening in the midterms. If we even make it to the damn midterms. Don't these people know that Medicaid not only gives people health care, it also takes care of our people in nursing homes. Medicaid pay for nursing homes for our elderly people. Where they gonna go now if they don't have Medicaid? What about all the hospitals, health facilities that need Medicaid from the patients to run their facility? This is the rural areas that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. Guess what? Good luck if something goes wrong and you got to drive 60, 70 miles to get to a hospital, because the hospital, the small one that depended on Medicaid patients to function in your rural cities and your rural areas, can't function any longer because they don't have the money, the funding. Y'all didn't think about that. All y'all thought was that racist agenda against immigrants. It ain't gonna happen to us. It ain't gonna affect us. We don't care. Well, now it's going to affect everybody with this bill. This is going to affect so many people. I wanted to pull it up and actually go through it with y'all, but I'm trying to keep this video short to keep the attention up for it. But we're going to do another one. But I want you to go and look at the bill and actually see what's in it. I can give you a place to go and look for it. I'm going to do that now. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Present. Share screen. Window. About that. Share. Okay. The website is Fortune. You can go to Fortune and you can look it up. It's right here. All this. Oh, they cutting food stamps. Like people, 350 billion allocated for border and national security, which is a lie. It's actually more than that because they gave the Pentagon another $1 trillion. Another $1 trillion. They gave the Pentagon another $1 trillion to their budget, and they do nothing but fail audits. So where is the fiscal responsibility for the Pentagon? There is none, because that got to do with industries too that's bloated and fat off of taxpayer money. The military industrial complex. Yeah, those guys. So at the end of the day, as we sit here and we wondering what's going to happen to this country by this Manchurian candidate, because that's what I truly think he is. He was sent here to destroy this country. I believe he's a Manchurian candidate. Yes, I do. As we sit here and we wait to see what's going to happen, people better get their ass in gear and be ready to vote all those people that took everything away from you out, because they are not working for us. They're working for corporations and working for themselves, because it's so easy to get fat and bloated while you sitting in Congress. But those people, the way they were smacking hands and patting each other on the back, that should be burned into your memory. And that should burn you enough to go out to the polls and get those bloodsuckers out, because they all vampires. Thank you for listening to the Don't Listen podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share the content. And, you know, I'm just a guy out here. Giving out information. And we all need to pay attention, because I believe these next 6 months going to be telling. And I'm going to have some more information for y'all coming out real soon. So thank you for watching. Peace to all of you on your journey. And remember, we got to look out for our fellow man, especially our fellow people, if you get what I'm saying. Stop playing. Get where you ain't. We go hard in the paint. It ain't what you heard, it's what you think. Peace and love. I'm out.
This is Young TP. You are listening to your Don't Listen podcast. Stop playing.